Okay, so this one might be a little bit of a long one. The question here is, what is money? And as I mentioned earlier, I've been reading and listening to a lot. I've watched a lot of Robert Breedlove. He has a whole show called What is Money? But it really boils down to three things, and I kind of just want to extrapolate on those three things for anybody listening to this channel that wants to hear my thoughts on what this is. So money is three things. It's a store of value, it is a medium of exchange, and it is a unit of account. I'm going to go in these three in order of these three because I think this is the proper order in which to think of them. So number one, store of value. As I mentioned earlier, when somebody works, when they provide something useful, some kind of value or utility to society or a community, they earn something for that. There is remuneration there. This is proof of work. How do you prove that you did this? You get paid. You get remunerated in some kind of benefit. These days, it's money. Okay, long in the before time, it might have been something different like chickens or cows or whatever. But these days, it's money. Money is much easier to use as a proof of work. You work, you earn the money. I have the proof that I did the work. Here's my money. Now I can do stuff with this. Now I can buy things that I need. I can support my family, blah, blah, blah. It's a store of value. So no. That's not the store of value part. So now you have earned the money, you have the money, you hold the money. You are looking forward to a point in time when you can afford, you can save up enough, you can store enough of this value to get the thing you want or need, house, car, whatever it is, business. You need to store this value. So you're gonna take this earning, this remuneration that you've accumulated, you're going to store it in a place where it's going to hold its value. And it's going to pay off for you later in the long term. That's store of value. This is one of the biggest components of money. Store of value. Is fiat a good store of value? No, it's not. They constantly debase it and make it less valuable over time. So when you earn dollars and you hold dollars, it is less valuable the day after the day after the day. And it is no longer, so it's not a good store of value. It's a melting ice cube. So in order for a money to be a good money, hard money, a sound money, it needs to be a store of value. This is why we have the stock market. This is why we have the real estate market. This is why we have the bonds market. This is why we have, venture capital and all that stuff, is because people are trying to store their money in a way that it's going to increase over time, or it's at least going to hold its value against inflation. Inflation makes it less valuable over time, so they are at least trying to keep it, to maintain that same value in the face of inflation. So that's store of value. Now, the second one is pretty self-explanatory. Medium of exchange. Medium of exchange. Do I need to really explain this? It's a medium of exchange. Hey, I need this thing. You have that thing. I have some of this money, this medium. Let's exchange it so that I can have the thing and then you can have the medium. The medium is the currency. It's a medium of exchange, okay? It is what provides a low amount of friction between transactions. So if I need a haircut and all I have is a pair of shoes, but the guy that gives a haircut doesn't want the shoes, okay, that's not a good medium of exchange. That's not a good medium. A good medium is something like a currency like gold, dollars, Bitcoin. Those are mediums. So fiat in this situation is a good medium of exchange. It allows for frictionless transactions between people and parties for goods and services and whatever else. So medium of exchange. It's just a way to transmit value from one party to another. Medium of exchange. Pretty self-explanatory. This last one is a little bit more, I think it's more difficult to grasp for somebody that's kind of new to the monetary theory world or trying to understand what money is. Unit of account. What the hell does that mean? Unit of account. Okay, I know what a unit is. I know what account is, but what the hell is a unit of account? Think of it like a measuring stick. Okay. when we were kids and before we learned what an inch and a foot and a meter and a centimeter were, we would just use any arbitrary length of a stick or a string or whatever, and we would just measure it just like that. And we would just say, okay, this thing is that long, and then this thing is that long, and we used an arbitrary unit to measure something. Okay. Then later we learn, there's these things called inches or meters or whatever. And then that became the unit of measure. All right. There's a million different units of measure out there in the, obviously in like the physics world. For example, light year, that is a unit of measure. That is the distance of light traveled in 1 year. Okay. That is a unit of distance, light year. Let me think of another one. Pounds. That is a unit of weight. Grams, a different unit of weight. So you have all these units. I'm breaking down what unit is. It's just a way to measure something. And so in currency, a unit is whatever unit you have in said currency. So for example, the dollar, the US dollar. A dollar is $1. That is your baseline unit of measure. But that can be both broken down and extrapolated. So a quarter is a quarter of a dollar. A dime is a tenth of a dollar. A penny is a hundredth of a dollar. Okay. Now you can go the other way. A $100 bill is a Benjamin. We call it a Benji. Okay. That is a unit of account. That is a Benji. And then, I don't know if we have names for like $1,000 bill. But like I think the $50 bill was Jackson, was it? No, that's 20. Grant was on the 50, I think. So we could say a grant, and that would be $50. We could say a grand, that's $1,000, right? So these are units of account. Bitcoin has the same thing. Okay, 1 Bitcoin is 1 Bitcoin, but it's also 100 million sats. Okay, a Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshis. For short, we call them a sat. A Bitcoin can be divided, because it's digital, can be divided 1/100 million times, each 1 Bitcoin. And that 1/100 millionth, we call that a sat, short for Satoshi. Okay. There are other names for other denominations up to, there's like bits, and again, I got to pull this up again. I can't remember all of them, but there are names for all the various denominations for the divisions of Bitcoin. All right. Now, I don't believe we have any names for anything above 1 Bitcoin. I think we just say, holy crap, that's an F ton of money. If you have 1 Bitcoin, that's an F ton of money. If you have any more than that, you have an absolute effing F ton of money. At least that's what I'm calling it. But anyway, this is a unit of account. Okay, so what function does a unit of account serve? How does that serve the concept of money or a monetary theory? Well, as I explained earlier, when I said to the haircut guy, I got a pair of shoes, that's not a good unit of account. That doesn't really denominate a value in somebody's head when you say, yeah, I got a pair of shoes I can give you for a haircut. Is that an equal exchange of value? I give you a haircut, which I've put thousands of hours into studying how to do and to perfect. I'm going to give you my skills of expertise in exchange for a pair of shoes. Doesn't really make sense. But if somebody has denominated their entire world in dollars, okay, the house, the shoes, the gasoline, the car, the food, the computer, the desk, everything in their life around them, they know approximately, or at least, or maybe even specifically, how many of some unit it is worth in value, at least at the time that they purchased it. That's a unit of account. They have accounted for everything in their life that provides some kind of value or has been exchanged for some kind of value in one particular unit of account. Okay, so you ask anybody on the street, like, hey, how much is a hamburger worth? You're gonna get a variation, of course, but you're gonna be in the ballpark. You're not gonna get anybody that says, $1 million. You're not gonna get anybody that says $1, at least not today. Back in my day, yeah, 20, 30 years ago, yeah, you could. But not today. Everybody's going to say like 10, 15, $20, right? But nobody's going to say $100. Nobody's going to say $500. Okay, this is because everyone is operating on the same unit of account, dollars. They understand how much everything is worth in terms of dollars around them. Everything, even these skyscrapers, they can tell you, oh, that's got to be in the 100 millions or maybe even 100 billions. Like everybody knows how the value in terms of a particular unit is everything is worth. This is unit of account. So this is the one area right now where Bitcoin is not the dominant currency in this particular subset of requirements. Bitcoin is a store of value. It's the best store of value by any and all metrics and quantities and qualities. It's a medium of exchange. It's the best medium of exchange. Okay, name a bank, and here let me explain why it is superior as a medium of exchange. The other day, I was showing a coworker at the job site mempool.space, which is which I showed earlier in another video, but for those who don't know, it is a real-time visualization of the memory pool for Bitcoin, showing you all the transactions that are pending, all the transactions that have finalized, and it shows the jostling, the supply and demand that when people are trying to get their transactions added to a block, how much they're willing to pay in fees in order to do that, how many Bitcoin or Bitcoins they are sending, and all that kind of cool information. So I was showing that to him, and we just so happened to find a block, a transaction in a little block on the mempool that was sending 2,891 Bitcoin somewhere. 2,891 Bitcoin. As I said before, all I know is that is an absolute effing F ton of money. And so we were just marveling at this, like, holy crap. Somebody is sending 2,891 Bitcoin to somebody else, or maybe to themselves, who knows. But name me a bank in the world, anywhere in the world. And by the way, this was a Saturday. Name me a bank anywhere in the world that will allow you to send the equivalent in terms of dollars or any other fiat currency in the world, that amount of money in 10 minutes on a Saturday. 24/7, 365 days a year, including holidays. Name me a bank that'll let you do that. You can't. It doesn't exist. If I'm wrong, please tell me. Please send me the link. It's like, oh yeah, this bank is open on this date, and they'll let you send, an infinite amount of money, with and no KYC. They don't need your personal information or any knowledge about you. Name a bank. I don't think you can do it. I don't think that exists. You can do that with Bitcoin. Okay, so that's why it is a superior medium of exchange. You can send any amount, anytime, 24/7. Bitcoin never stops. Bitcoin never sleeps. TikTok next block, as they say. Now, unit of account, when it comes to that, Bitcoin is not the global reserve currency yet. It is not the global unit of account yet. Once people start denominating all of their assets in the world around them, all the stuff, things, service, products, and everything else in terms of Bitcoin, that's when Bitcoin becomes a unit of account, the global unit of account. My personal belief is that this is going to happen when Bitcoin hits $100 million. Remember, as I said, there are 100 million Satoshis in one Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin becomes worth $100 million on the market, that means one Satoshi equals $1. Now, everything that's denominated in dollars around every single human on Earth, now all they got to do is just say Satoshis instead of dollars. That's it. That is the point when the dollar is completely sidestepped by the entire planet. And everyone on Earth is going, oh yeah, I need to buy that car. How much is it? It's 100,000 sats, because I'm thinking this is probably decades down the road. So like even the cheapest car in the world is going to be $100,000 minimum, maybe more. So yeah, 100,000 sats. If you ever played Cyberpunk, you know that on that game everybody calls the money eddies, which is a slang for euros, I think. If I recall correctly, Cyberpunk believed that euros was going to be the dominant currency. Laughable. But nonetheless, they called them eddies, and they were transmitted digitally through their, through their their biotech that they had implanted into their bodies. It's going to be something like that, man. It's going to be sats. Like, yeah, that's, I went out and assassinated so-and-so for you. Here's, here's 350,000 sats. Here you go. That's going to be it. That's how we're going to get there. So anyway, okay. That is so let me summarize the question of what is money and how does Bitcoin really come into this. Store of value, medium of exchange, unit of account. Bitcoin is a superior store of value. There's no inflation. There's even no deflation technically, although prices will go down the more and more Bitcoin is adopted. So it's a superior store of value. Medium of exchange, Bitcoin is superior medium of exchange, as I explained with the bank that can send billions of dollars on a Saturday. Bitcoin can, no bank in the world can. Superior medium of exchange. And then unit of account. Right now, no, it's not the unit of account, but this is something that's kind of arbitrary and decided by individuals on the large scale. So unit of account is really just a question of adoption. So the more Bitcoin is adopted, the more it is going to become the standard unit of account. And with the pending spot Bitcoin ETFs that we have coming up, that's just going to be one more step in that direction. More and more people are going to start thinking in terms of Bitcoin. They're going to start becoming exposed to it. They're going to start learning about it. They're going to start reading about it. They're going to start listening to Michael Saylor and Michael Breedlove or Robert Breedlove and and the multitude of others, Saifedean, and they're going to start to learn eventually because they're going to start to figure it out. And they're going to start to figure it out because they're going to start to see that others have figured it out. And they have to compete with this. So in order to compete with this, they got to learn about it. In order to learn about it, they got to learn money and monetary theory. And so as the world becomes educated on monetary theory and starts to wake up and realize that fiat is immoral and fiat is wrong, and it's just, quite frankly, inferior to hard money, hard assets like Bitcoin, that adoption is going to take place. That adoption is going to accelerate. And then we're going to hit $100 million per Bitcoin at one point, and then that's the end of the dollar. Even if the dollar manages to even survive to $100 million per Bitcoin, which I don't even know if it will, but let's say it does, there's no way it's going to go past that. There's no way the dollar is going to survive past $100 million per Bitcoin. It's just not going to happen, in my opinion. In my humble, stupid ass little opinion that doesn't matter to anyone anywhere in the world except myself, which is fine because, hey, that's cool. That's what it is. So anyway, that's my show for today. It's a short one. I don't even think I hit an hour, did I? No. Hope you all enjoyed it. And please let me know if you have any questions or comments. If you think I got anything wrong, comment below. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, share with your friends, all that stupid stuff. And then please visit my store. Check out all the designs I got on there. This is only 3 designs. I think I have hundreds of designs on there. Probably way too many. Please go on there. Check them out. You can sort by category. You can search for stuff. Let me know what you like, what you think sucks. And if you do like something, please give it a purchase. You can pay with Bitcoin. You can pay with Sats. You can pay with Lightning. And you can even do it no KYC. If you want to use a pseudonymous address and name for the shipping, you can do that. You can do it totally under the radar. I'll never know who you are. So yeah, check it out. Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you so much. Good evening, y'all.